and passing over opportunities repeatedly, you have to develop a vision to get beyond that. You know, I remember back 20 plus years ago when I first got started inside of this industry. And I remember a good friend of mine saying, Cederic, you have to first start off by talking to your friends and family. And I was with an opportunity that was selling long distance, and long distance isn't available anymore. But 20 plus years ago, it was hot. You know, and I got started in network marketing and went to my dad, the very first person I went to. Dad, I need a favor. And my dad looked at me, growing up in Richmond, Virginia, and when you ask for a favor, when you grew up like we grew up, the very first thing is, how much? Dad, I don't need your money. Cool. What is it? I need you to do me a favor, Dad, and I need you to switch your long distance to this company called Boop. And my dad looked at me and said, Cedric, I don't know anybody that works at that company called Boop. I said, Dad, you're with Sprint. You're paying 19 cents a minute, and this company is charging 10 cents a minute. I need you to do me that favor. My dad looked at me and said, Cedric, I'm not switching. This is a rated PG event. You fill in the blank. I looked back at my dad and said, that's crazy. I'm your son. You can't do me that favor? My dad looked at me and said, Cedric, stop chasing rainbows. Go get a real job. What have you gotten yourself involved into right now? You see, at that moment, I could have borrowed the belief of my dad. I could have borrowed the belief of my dad, who literally worked in a freezer for 35 years at a grocery store called U-Crops in Richmond, Virginia. Now, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm from Africa, and there's something about working in a freezer that doesn't really appease me. So I said, no, I don't believe that I should be in a freezer. I started seeing so many people winning in this industry of network marketing, and we started to have to borrow their belief, and borrow more of their belief, and borrow more of their belief, and borrow their vision. You see, 11 plus years ago, there was a vision and a belief that started. And all of you are witnessing that belief today. You see, Wendy, Randy, and Scott, they saw something inside of a product. They saw an opportunity to be able to share something around the world that could impact a significant amount of people's lives. Now, they could have sat still because they were already successful. They could have went on about their lives and enjoyed the fruits of the labor that they had already created. But they wanted to impact more people around the world. Millions and millions and millions of people around the world. So they launched Jeunesse. And that belief started to get infectious, and more infectious, and more infectious. To all of a sudden, you start to bring in some of the best from the online world, from the offline world. You started to bring in some of the best from the corporate side of the world. You went from one office to another office, to another office, to another office, and to another office. And if you sit back and you think about this story, ladies and gentlemen, as we fast forward to us having this moment of our 11th year anniversary, the belief no longer has to be borrowed. You see, the belief was borrowed 11 years ago for quite a few people. The proof is in the pudding right now. But you as a distributor inside of Jeunesse, you have to understand that sometimes belief can be in the air. Belief can be with other people. And you might be sitting at home right now saying, we're in the middle of this pandemic. There's so many changes that have happened. And ladies and gentlemen, in the midst of challenges in life, there's opportunity. In the midst of every challenge, there's an opportunity. You see, there's millions and millions and millions of people who have lost a significant amount of belief based upon what has happened. And it is our duty as independent distributors of Jeunesse to be able to take the belief that we already know, the belief that we see every day, the belief that we're sharing with 700,000 distributors around the world, billions of customers around the world, 100 plus countries, numerous different languages. It's up to us to share and pass that belief. But in order to do so, you've got to get out of your own way. Because see, there might have been some things that you believed growing up that may not have been true. You see, you grew up from the first grade to the fifth grade, and you did something for 8 hours a day, and you got a result. And the result was middle school. You did something for 3 years, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you got a result. And the result was high school. You did something for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 4 years, and you got a result. And the result, for some of us, was college. You went to college for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 4 years, 6 years, 8 years, and the result was a doctorate. The result was a certificate. The result was that you figured out how to drink a keg of beer in 3 seconds. But I want you to think about this result. I want you to think about the belief that was instilled in you, maybe from some other people that were around you. And the belief was, if you did this, you, my friend, would be successful. Well, if we sit back and we think about what we're doing inside of this business, ladies and gentlemen, there's people that are from Yale. There's people that are from jail, in the words of my good friend, Mr. Jason Bournet. There's people who have attended college, and there's people who have not attended college. There's people who have rose from the ranks of sapphire and emerald and diamond and double diamond and triple galactic diamond and Star Trek diamond. However, they started off with borrowing some belief. Now, how much of that information that was learned in high school, that was learned in middle school, that was learned in elementary school, that was learned in college was applied to this industry? Probably not a lot. Not knocking school because it's fantastic. However, I learned a long time ago, if you really want to be successful in life, you pay attention to the people who have what you want, not the people who have what you already have. So if you sit back and you think about the success that Wendy and Randy have had, if you sit back and think about the success that Scott Lewis has had, when you think about what's happening from the chief visionary officer and sharing his vision and his belief to become that leader inside of the direct selling arena, you, my friend, whether you believe it or not, have to, without a shadow of a doubt, unequivocally borrow that belief. Because what ends up happening is that you start to believe something bigger than what you are. And you believe, and you believe, and you believe, and you believe, and you believe. Let me know when you get the hang of it. And you believe, and you believe, and you believe, and you believe, and then all of a sudden, those things that you have been believing, you start to see. You see, a mentor of mine taught me a long time ago, he said, Cedric, the mind works kinesthetically. The mind works kinesthetically. It works better when you write things down. And some of you move with affirmations, and you tend to look at these affirmations on a daily basis. And you have to believe that affirmation. You have to believe that you are the best distributor inside of network marketing, inside of Jeunesse. You have to believe that you're already a diamond. You have to walk and talk like you're already a diamond, because it has to start here before it shows up here. You ever wonder why 90+% of all lottery winners, when they hit the lottery, within 5 to 7 years, they're broke? They just won $100 million. I need to say that again because, man, that just sounds sexy. They just won $100 million. And you sit back and you say, how in the world in 5 to 7 years that somebody that was making $8 an hour that just won $100 million by filling out some numbers is broke in 5 to 7 years? How is that possible? Really simple. It didn't start off here. It was gifted. It came extremely easy. It came by scratching some numbers. You see, you're not going to become a diamond inside of Jeunesse by scratching numbers. It's going to take some belief. It's going to take a significant amount of work, and you've got to start to believe it right now. You know, on a daily basis, I have this bracelet, and it says that I am unstoppable. And I like to put this bracelet on, and I like to rub it. I like to sit and rub this bracelet. Doesn't matter what's going on that day. I like to rub that bracelet and know that I am freaking unstoppable, because who's going to stop me? Who's going to stop you? You see, the only person that's going to stop you is the person in the mirror. You have the platform. You have the success already proven. But you've got to borrow that vision sometimes. You've got to borrow that belief. So as we sit back in the middle of this pandemic and some people are walking around, oh, woe is me. Some people are walking around, 2020 was the worst year of my life. You need to reverse that and say 2020 was the best year of my life. 2020 was the springboard. 2020 was that year that I started to believe. You see, you might be stuck in a home with your wife. You might be stuck in a home with your husband, and you might be stuck with your boyfriend, with your girlfriend, with your significant other, with your fish, with your dog, with your cat, with the squirrels, with the salamander, with whatever. And you see them, and you can easily believe that because you see it. But sometimes you can't believe things that you do not see. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called faith. That's called faith, when you believe in things that you do not see. You need to learn to borrow that belief from Mr. Scott Lewis. You see, he has that energy that if you have a little lack of it, borrow some of it from him. You see, there's someone literally 15 minutes ago that got really, really lucky. They got really, really lucky to win that face-to-face, one-on-one with Mr. Scott Lewis from a video perspective. And whoever that person was that won it, I'm going to sit here and tell you to take copious notes. Because at the end of the day, your notes are simply uncashed checks. There are going to be a lot of notes that are going to be taken here this weekend from numerous different diamonds around the world that are here to impact you, that are going to be speaking on numerous different topics. But it's up to you to take those notes and implement them. It's up to you to know that they're uncashed checks. It's up to you to know that that belief is there, whether you see it or not. But Cedric, I'm just an executive. No, you're not. You're a diamond. But Cedric, I'm just a sapphire. No, you're not. You're a diamond. But Cedric, I'm just an emerald. No, you're not. You're a diamond. And in order for any diamond that you have on your ring, that you have on a bracelet, that you have around your neck, in order for it to become the shiny thing and object that you see today, it takes some hits. It takes some hits to the left. It takes some hits to the right. You see, a cubic zirconium doesn't take too many hits, but a diamond takes some hits. You want to be that? You've got to step into it. You see, I don't remember seeing anywhere inside of the Jeunesse compensation plan that it said cubic zirconium, but I remember everywhere where it says that pinnacle position of diamond. So are you ready to take those hits? Are you ready to take those chips to the left and those chips to the right? That little chisel here, that little chisel there, that hammer on top of your head, that hammer to your knee, that hammer to your ankle, for you to be able to go out and understand that some people are not going to believe you. They're going to call you crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, crazy is cool. Don't let them call you broke. You see, at the end of the day, doesn't matter if you can see it or not. Doesn't matter. What matters is that the opportunity is right here in front of you right now. So borrow the belief of all of these leaders. Borrow that belief and vision of Mr. Scott Lewis. Borrow the fact that whether you can speak one language or three, maybe you figured it out, it's tough for me to speak English. However, this business is in multiple different countries around the world, and all those things that you need from a tool perspective is already there. Plug in. Believe that you're already that person. Walk that walk, baby. Talk that talk. Be in it right now. Because in order to become that diamond or double diamond or triple diamond, you've got to believe it. You've got to have that vision. And it's got to be right now. Take the moment that we have in the middle of this COVID situation and become the best version of you. Evolve so hard that you have to reintroduce yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Use this time to become that best person, that best leader. Read, develop, absorb. Be that leader that all of those people inside of your organization deserve to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the game is visionary belief. It's already instilled in you. Jeunesse is the opportunity for you to drive. We've given you the vehicle. You have the keys. Put your foot on the gas. We'll see you at the next event.
Yeah.